This year, we've all been introduced to a lot of new terminology and systems. In this month's update, we'd like to take the time to dig a little deeper into student cohorts. As we begin to bring more and more students back on campus, we know you have questions, and we hope this video addresses a few of them. Creating cohorts of students is a strategy to limit contact between individuals in order to minimize transmission. By keeping groups of students together, we can better target quarantine and isolation practices when we have a positive case or cluster of cases on campus. The impact on the entire school is minimized by managing these cohorts carefully. Peak-to-Peak's in-person cohorts follow one of two different basic frameworks. In both cases, the learning model is a combination of some in-person and some distance learning activities. To the extent possible, students do not cross with other cohorts in the building and have a designated time on the playground. The classrooms are cleaned between cohorts of students, and restrooms are cleaned several times throughout the day. The first framework is currently being implemented at the kindergarten level. The entire grade level, for those families who choose to participate, is rotating on campus for instruction on a regular schedule. On the days when the cohort is not scheduled for in-person learning, students are participating in remote learning activities. The second type of cohort framework consists of teacher-identified groups of students. These are small subsets of classes or grade levels that are scheduled to be on campus for instruction and support. In most cases, but not all, these groups of students continue to meet during their regularly scheduled distance learning synchronous class sessions in the morning, but they're scheduled to be on campus in the afternoon for additional instruction or to complete their asynchronous work with in-person teacher support. Our in-person cohorts are scheduled to be on campus for short periods of time as a supplement to distance learning lessons. Cohorts are not attending school from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in a traditional sense. We're working towards the day when we can welcome students back for a full day of on-campus learning, but we're just not there yet. Keeping in mind that this is mid-October and things are changing fast, we're ramping up the number of cohorts we have on campus. Watch for more information in the Friday Digest and in newsletters from the school principals about what that ramp-up looks like at each level. Teachers and school leaders have developed a process that includes a rubric for identifying students who would benefit from in-person learning opportunities. Factors such as access and safety, student learning needs, equity, and family needs are taken into consideration. The teachers and counselors who know our students and families best are working closely to identify students for in-person learning cohorts. At the direction of the Colorado Department of Education, each school is encouraged to manage cohorts of students according to the risk factors and the individual situation at each school. Some schools, but by no means all, are able to navigate the risks and challenges of larger cohorts. In general, the larger the cohort, the greater a number of students impacted when a case or a cluster of cases of COVID-19 develop. Peak-to-Peak has prioritized stability and safety in our decision-making. Based on this, the risk factors and limitations at our school, and some other considerations, we're using smaller cohorts as a strategy for maximizing stability for the most number of students. To this point, we've limited the size of our cohorts to 10 students, which accomplishes two primary goals. First, we're able to maintain appropriate physical distancing in our classrooms. Each individual school is handling physical distancing differently, but we've seen success with our approach thus far. Second, these groups are likely to continue meeting even if the county health department imposes more restrictive limitations on gatherings due to community spread, thus maintaining our priority on stability for students. Over the next several weeks, we'll be expanding the number of cohorts and using additional spaces on campus, taking advantage of all of our buildings and restrooms to the greatest extent possible. Based on the number of students and cohorts, we'll assign the appropriate number of support staff, emergency response, and administrative team members. Make no mistake, in-person learning for all students is the ultimate goal. There are, however, changes to the way we move through the buildings, make use of space, and interact with one another when we're there. There are daily health screenings prior to arriving on campus. Everyone wears a mask. We maintain physical distance at all times, even on the playground. Tangible resources are assigned to individual students. The number of students in the restroom at any given time is limited, and we wash our hands frequently. What hasn't changed is the warm, welcoming, and supportive environment we know at Peak to Peak. Whew! As we hope you can see, there's a lot to think about and a lot to work through. Again, it is our ultimate goal to get students back on campus for in-person learning. We all want that. We're excited to increase the number of students on campus during the second quarter. We're using what we're learning about in-person cohorts to plan for a time when we will have all students, those who are able to be, back in our classrooms. In the meantime, we encourage you to reach out to your teachers for support. They are wonderful educators who are partners in student learning and student success. Thanks for watching.